Great AI programs start with great business questions. In this module, we'll frame AI as a strategy through three lenses: your external environment, your value proposition, and organizational execution. We'll cover the drivers of AI success, how organizations progress from exploring to realizing value, and where customer stories illustrate these patterns in the wild. Let's look first at the considerations for defining an AI strategy. When you're developing a strategy, we encourage a holistic approach, one that considers not just technology, but the broader context in which your organization operates. This framework revolves around three key elements: your external environment, the value proposition, and the organizational execution. Together, they create a balanced vision of where AI can have the greatest impact and how to make that impact sustainable. So let's start first with the external environment. Every organization is part of a changing ecosystem, one that is shaped by market disruption, shifting customer experiences, and emerging competitors who are all using AI in creative new ways. And at the same time, governments and regulations are ever increasing. So to understand these dynamics, it'll help you position your AI strategy as responsibly and competitively as possible. When we think about the value proposition, this is what you offer to your customers and how AI can elevate that experience. Maybe that means improving personalization or making services more efficient, or even creating entirely new revenue streams. The key is to connect AI investment to tangible customer outcomes and measurable business results. And then finally, the execution within the organization. This is where we turn that strategy into more reality. So even the best ideas can stall without the right people, processes, and culture to support them. Success here means aligning resources, defining clear roles, and building AI skills across teams. It's about fostering an AI-ready culture where innovation continuously evolves and employees are feeling even more empowered to use the AI tools to do their best work. So in the next section, I want to focus on this third element, this organizational execution, and how to prepare your organization to truly embrace AI and lead confidently into the future. Here are some of the organizational characteristics that we feel represent an AI-ready culture. First is being data-driven. Any good AI system relies on having the best and most complete data and being able to reason over your entire data estate. So in other words, it depends on the matter of integrity and the matter of access. So fostering an AI-ready culture also means that we have to empower people to be a part of the transformation with us. Organizations should provide opportunities to achieve this goal. This involves things like space, resources, guidance, security training, and support where it is needed to help improve people's experiences interacting with AI. They should have time to actually learn what this is. Organizations should help people get the knowledge and skills so that they can use AI to its fullest. And have room for experimentation as well. We want to encourage new ideas and continuous improvement from everyone that works in our organizations. This experimentation allows for room for errors as well as celebration and acknowledgement of success. And of course, very critical is responsibly approaching AI. As it continues to evolve, it does have the potential to drive considerable changes to our lives, and it raises complex and challenging questions about what future do we want to see. Organizations need to ask themselves, how do we design, build, and use AI systems to create a positive impact on individuals and society? How can we ensure that AI systems treat everyone fairly? How can we prepare the workforce for the new AI era? At Microsoft, we've identified several drivers of AI success, and I know there's a lot here. Let's take it bit by bit. AI success depends on more than just building the great models. It comes from connecting the strategy, the technology, the people, and the governance into a clear and coordinated approach. It starts with a strong business strategy. The most effective AI initiatives are those that clearly tie to your business's outcomes, whether that's improving decision making, driving efficiency, or unlocking new revenue streams. So that means setting clear objectives, prioritizing use cases, and making deliberate investments so that AI isn't just some experiment that your organization is running, but it's an enabler of the goals of the organization. Then, when we think about technology strategy, data is the foundation. Without access to accurate, relevant data and cloud infrastructure to support it, AI models simply can't deliver value. The technology strategy ensures that the organization can scale securely, run large models efficiently, and even use AI to strengthen its own security posture. Then comes the AI strategy and experience. This is where the real craft of AI comes into play, building, testing, and refining models through a standardized and repeatable process. The most successful organizations we find bring together diverse perspectives to identify the right use cases and ensure their AI models fit the specific needs of the business. But the technology alone doesn't create transformation. It is within your organization and the culture that you foster where we are able to make that transformation happen. AI success requires leadership that clearly communicates the vision and makes expertise available and helps every employee to understand how AI supports their work. So this is about culture change, fostering curiosity, collaboration between people, and confidence in using those AI tools. And finally, none of this is sustainable without AI governance. As AI becomes a part of everyday operations, we do have to ensure transparency, explainability, and security. Governance establishes the trust framework, protecting data, ensuring compliance, and setting boundaries for how AI is used responsibly across the organization. So, when all 5 of these areas come together, business alignment, strong data infrastructure, skilled teams, a culture of innovation, and a foundation of trust, that is when AI truly scales and delivers even more lasting impact. There is a staged process to the value that we see from AI. When we talk about AI transformation, it is important to remember that success does not happen overnight, of course. Most organizations move through a series of stages along their journey. So the framework that you see here helps us understand that journey, not as a checklist, but as an evolution in how AI becomes integrated into the business. So let's start with the exploring phase. Here, companies are learning. We're experimenting with AI in isolated parts of the business, often to simply see what's possible. So at this stage, only about 3% of organizations report seeing significant value. That's not a sign of failure, just a natural part of discovery. And so this is where teams are building awareness, testing tools, and identifying potential use cases. Once we've explored a bit, we've dipped our toes in, that's when we move to planning. So at this point, organizations begin developing a more clear AI strategy. They're assessing, okay, where can AI make the most impact, help define goals, and they start planning proofs of concept. Around 12% of organizations tell us that they are starting to see significant value here, usually in the targeted initiatives in which they are testing. After we move from planning, we go to the formalizing stage. So this is where AI starts to actually take root in the organization. You're moving from experimentation to now more implementation, creating repeatable processes, socializing the strategy across multiple departments, and you're beginning to see even more measurable results. Roughly about a quarter of companies in this stage are now gaining consistent business value from AI. Then we scale AI through the organization. This is the tipping point. So here, organizations are moving beyond individual pilots. We are scaling successful AI projects across the enterprise, building shared data platforms, embedding AI into daily operations. At this stage, as a result, over 60% of organizations are reporting significant returns. Once we've accomplished this, we arrive at the realizing stage. AI is no longer just a project, it's a capability. Organizations at this level achieve consistent, measurable, and repeatable value across multiple business units. Nearly all of them, about 96%, report significant impact from their AI investments. So a key takeaway here is that AI maturity, it is a journey. It is one that requires focus, structure, and alignment across the people, processes, and technology. And every step along this path builds the foundation for the next. Together, we learned a practical strategy framework, the common accelerators of AI success, and how to move from pilots to repeatable value. With ambition comes responsibility. Up next, we'll anchor that strategy in responsible AI so innovation lands safely and earns trust.